It programmed into our genetic program so that we all have unique structures in our brain so we'll see the world differently. The problem is, when you take those unique structures and you drop them into the educational system, something very damaging happens to you. This is really important to listen to. Our research shows 95% of teachers are what's called left temporal lobe dominant, and the left side of their head where words are and finite math. Every teacher, I go talk to teachers and I say, who got good grades? 95% raise their hand. The 5% that don't are teaching phys ed. So those 95% of teachers all got A's. Then what they do is their brain plan let them get A's. They think you learn the same way. Our research shows that 95% of you do not have the same brain plan as your teachers. So when you're locked in a room for 18 years, the energy from your body goes into your brain and it naturally goes to that gift. Now, when I lock you up for 18 years and I don't let that energy flow go to your gift and I redirect it in another direction and that gift is this big, what do you think starts to happen to it when it doesn't get the oxygen and glucose it needs? It starts to what? Atrophy. So you bust your ass, you get A's, you do all the memorization, you do all the books, you do what the teachers tell you to do, and you get out of the school system, and your mother asks her, or somebody asks you what you want to be, and you go, I don't know. How many people did that happen to? How many people that happened to? Yeah, look around. Put your hands up if that happened to you. Now look around this room. That is damage to you. You got damaged. What you're here today to do is to heal the damage that you got from the educational system so you can discover who you are to unlock your genius.
You see what happens when I look out? I can see people. Some of you are already checked out. Some people are excited, and some people are already checked out. Because most people are so conditioned to be told what to do. I hear it all the time. Tell me what to invest in. I got $10,000. What should I do with my money? You're so fucking lazy. You're so afraid of making a mistake. You're so afraid of studying. So they'll tell you what to do. Give the money to them.
Here's the problem. When you've redirected that blood flow and you don't know what your gift is, you don't know what your authenticity is, you keep looking outside of yourself to get an A. Who can tell me what to do? Who can give me approval? You don't stand up and say, here's who I am, I'm going to go out in the world, I'm going to kick ass, and I'm going to make a lot of money, help a lot of people. We're not able to do that. We run around looking for somebody to give us approval. The only person you want to look to for approval is your own authentic self. And if you don't...
Yes!
If you don't know who your authentic self is, you're trapped in going outside. So one of the greatest things you can do is take some of these courses that Tans have got for you here from Success Resources, read as many books as you can, and import new knowledge so you start to look at who your authentic self is.
So, I know some of you are hoping we're going to give you the magic formula to get rich. Right?
Yeah. You've been conditioned to that.
So, Jeremy, explain this, what happens when they play the cast, what's going on, how do you change the cheese?
Right. So here's the game over here. So here's the problem. Even today, as we stand here and yap at you, what we're doing is we're stimulating a small part of your brain, really, which is mental. As Robert says, and as Kim is such a great golfer, she would never become a great golfer if she only read a book. You can't become a great human if all you do is sit in a classroom all day and memorize stuff and have somebody tell you what to do. Because basically what they're doing is hypnotizing you to go out to the world and say, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? Because that's what you did for 18 years. And if you did it their way, then they gave you an A. Or you got an F if you didn't do it their way. But the problem was you were controlled from the outside. Now the way to change your life is to be a holographic. What has to happen is you have to bring the physical into it. Like when Kim is playing golf, the physical comes into it. It's the same thing with making money. You got to physically go out and start doing it. But here's the problem. Because in school, not only did they not teach you how to make money, what else didn't they teach you? They didn't teach you how to deal with your emotions. Mm-hmm. They didn't teach you how to deal with your fear. They didn't teach you how to get more joy. They didn't teach you how to get more fulfillment. They didn't teach you how to deal with your greed. They didn't teach you any of that stuff, your jealousy. So we run around. That's what they should be teaching to us when we're children. And instead, we've been emotionally retarded. Mm-hmm. I'm not kidding. Think about your own relationships. How many people here have the most wonderful relationship with the loved ones that they've always dreamed of, completely? That many people? You guys are lucky. Seriously. Most of us are fighting. Most of us, I want this, you want that. We don't know how to regulate ourselves, so we don't know how to have good relationships with other people. And it's not only good relationships with other people. I go into corporations and help them figure out how to transform so that they can cooperate at higher levels. Most organizations are full of emotional dysfunction because nobody taught us how to manage our emotions and deal with our emotions when we were young.
And most of the corporations are afraid of getting fired, right?
Oh my God, everybody's over here scared crapless. And there's nothing that can slow your learning down greater than fear. Mm-hmm. So let's keep coming back to it. So what we've got is an educational system that that focuses on the mental, focuses on facts.
Can I say one more thing?
Huh?
The mental is just only one right answer.
That's exactly right. You can't make a mistake.
And in real life, how many right answers are there?
A million. Infinite. Infinite.
You got to find your right answers.
Yes.
Yeah, and so what happens is we've retarded you mentally, we've screwed you up emotionally, and we haven't even given you any physical input. You're locked in a seat for 18 years. I mean, that is not good for your body.
And then they get locked in an office for the rest of your life.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah. And they think they're helping you when they say stand up and type. Right? What the hell? Yeah. So here for me, and this is the truth. The most important thing I discovered in this 30 years of research was activating your spiritual self, which the education system pays absolutely zero attention to. When we are walking through life and we know who we are in our authentic self, we open up structures, we open up our biology, we open up our neurochemistry that allows us to see the world as it actually is.
And what happens to the cheese? Show me your cheese. Show me your brain.
So the cheese starts to melt. The old cheese starts to melt, and you import new cheese that allows you to get the success you always dreamed of. So people talk about, I'm not talking about religion now. I'm talking about doing things that help you get closer to who you are without those words in your head. Here's what's happened to us. I've got some research that's really fascinating. Do you know how many thoughts you have a day? 60,000. Right. One expert, a group of experts have come together somewhere between 12 and 60,000 thoughts a day. And here's the deal, guys. 80 to 90% of those thoughts, you know what those thoughts are? The same thoughts you had yesterday.
Yeah.
You're recycling your crappy cheese. Right? You're thinking the same thing you thought yesterday. It's getting thicker. It goes from this stuff, which is cheddar, to Parmesan. It's all hard like cement. Right? So now, it's true, but those 60,000, so here's another thing, and evolution did this to us. Do you know what percentage of those thoughts are negative? 80 to 90%. Why? Because evolution decided it was better for you to pay attention to the negative stuff than the positive stuff. Mm-hmm. It helps you stay alive, true. But it also traps you in a world where you're thinking about crap all day long. You're thinking about how good you're not. You're thinking about how bad you are. You're thinking about what you're afraid of. You're not thinking about what can transform your life. You're fearful. You're locked in a box. And when you're locked in a box, it's a lot safer over here in E and S. Because I'm in my box. I'm doing my little thing. Come over here takes more risk. But when you can take that step, when you can take that movement, literally, this starts to grow. Being
So-
an entrepreneur is spiritual.
But the biggest thing about this, Kim, would you come up here, please? On the spiritual side, why did we create the board game?
Well, on the spiritual side, it fulfills the mission of people teaching people.
You see, the key to being